Welcome to this vagus nerve reset gentle Hatha yoga class. For this class, you're going to need a block. I'd suggest if you have a foam block, that was going to be better. You can put it at the head of your mat where your head's going to be. And then maybe later in the class, you might want an eye pillow if you like that, a blanket if it tends to get cool for over top of you in Shavasana. And you might want a meditation cushion or a chair to sit on towards the end of the class, but those can be off to the side for now. We're going to start lying down on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. So just take a few moments to get as comfortable as possible. Maybe tuck your tail under and re-lower down. Tuck your shoulder blades under and re-lower. Take a breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. You can place your hands wherever it feels most supportive and comfortable for you today. And just allow yourself to arrive here now. You might want to open your eyes if they're closed and take a moment to look around your space, to orient. Allow your eyes to settle on a few things in the room. Just take in the space that you're in. And this is something that you can do at any point in your day, just to let your nervous system know that there's no threats in your space. To know that you are safe in this environment. And you can choose to have your eyes open. You can have a soft gaze. You can close your eyes. Whatever feels best for you. It's always your choice. I'm going to do a breath practice today where you're going to breathe in for a count of 4. You're going to pause your breath for a count of 4 unless you're pregnant, in which case you want to keep your breath continuous. You're going to breathe out for a count of 4, and you're going to pause for a count of 4. So we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4. This time breathe out through your mouth, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, out through your mouth, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. So you can continue this with your own breath rhythm. You might need to stretch that out a little bit or shorten it a little bit. There should be no breath hunger or feeling like you're gasping for air. You want it to be nice and easy. So your vagus nerve innervates your diaphragm particularly. So by doing breath practices, we're really getting into your vagus nerve. Is one of the most effective ways to regulate your nervous system. Diaphragm lives right underneath your rib cage here. As you breathe in, let it just relax and soften, move down towards your feet. And as you breathe out again, let it relax and soften up towards your heart. Okay, so release that breath. Just return to breathing normally. Notice how you're feeling. So that breath can be particularly good if you've been more towards dorsal shutdown, like you're feeling like things are a little hopeless, like it's been hard to motivate yourself into action, like you've been needing to sleep a lot, feeling a little bit more towards depression. But what if you've come to your mat and you've had more sympathetic activation, more towards anxiety, more towards agitation and irritation? Then let's settle that a little bit. I've actually been calling this settling. We're going to move it from your heels, taking your heels to the corners of your mat and just rocking your heels, lifting your toes like flippers up and down. And notice how that rocks your whole body. This can be a gentle way to settle your body if you've been more towards the activated side of your body. So we can reset our vagus nerve in many different ways. And it's good to know whether we're activated or whether we're more towards shutdown. And they both require different responses. And we've got different ways of moving in this class, coming towards regulation. Okay, pause and notice how you feel. You're going to bend your knees again. You're going to take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers behind your head, create a nice little cradle for your head. Elbows will reach towards the ground. Probably most of your arms will be on the ground. Mine are still lifted off from frozen shoulder a little bit. You just pause here, let your head sink heavy into your hands. If your eyes are closed, you're going to flutter your eyelids open. Let your nose stay pointed up towards the ceiling. Keep your head here. Turn your eyes to the right. You're just going to keep looking to the right, and you might notice a nervous system response, which would be indicating that your vagus nerve is getting stimulated, which could be a deep sigh, a yawn, or saliva in your mouth, which would all be indicating you're coming into a more vagal response in the parasympathetic nervous system. When you feel that, you can come back to center. There's no right or wrong or better best for how long that takes. You can either close your eyes or look up at the ceiling, whatever feels best for you. And then let's look over to the left, keeping your nose pointing out towards the ceiling. Just breathe normally in and out through your nose. So you might notice saliva, a yawn, or a sigh. It's all signs it's working. You're coming back to the center. And you can release your hands, and let's just do a little combing across your forehead to release that overthinking, which can be some sympathetic activation as well. Rub your temples. Okay, and then you're going to take your index fingers and you're going to place them, you're going to come into your ears, and just, so you've got your ear canal, and just above that, there's a little indent. You're going to come into there and you're going to do circles in there. And just notice how your body responds. Notice if your diaphragm gets softer, if your breathing becomes easier. If you feel slowing down, you might notice my voice is deepening. Notice if your tension in your body is softening. I can notice the back of my neck is getting softer. Let's circle the other way. Okay, and then let's come back to your breath and just notice how it influenced your breath. If your breath feels less forced and maybe a little easier. So you're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, out through the mouth, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. So as you do this, just notice if you feel more centered, more grounded, more confident, more in your body. So just notice if you feel like you're able, maybe more able to take on the challenges of the day, the challenges of this class. And then we're going to move on to some pelvic rocking. Okay, so continuing with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, you can bring your hands down by the side of your body now. You're going to just start by imagining that the top of your pelvis is 12 o'clock and the bottom of your pelvis is 6 o'clock. You're going to reach 6 o'clock down towards the ground and then reach 12 o'clock up towards the ground. So you're just going to be tipping that clock one way and the other. And noticing how the rest of your body responds. So you might notice when 6 o'clock comes up and 12 o'clock goes down, your back flattens out. And then when 6 o'clock goes down and 12 o'clock comes up, your chin comes down. So there's no right or wrong or better, best way to do this. Just notice how it feels as you're doing this. Breathe. You're creating some mind-body connection here. You're laying down neural maps in your brain, which is good. And then the next time you're going to inhale when you're at 6 o'clock, you're going to exhale, you're going to roll past 12 o'clock and you're going to start to roll up through your spine, vertebra by vertebra, coming up to your shoulders. And then you're going to inhale at the top. And you're going to exhale and you're going to roll down through your spine, vertebra by vertebra. And roll back, all the way back down to that 6 o'clock. So we're moving slowly with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, curl your pelvis up to 12 o'clock first, and then start to lift your vertebra off of the spine, off the ground, one at a time, coming up to your shoulders. Inhale at the top. Exhale and lower down through your spine, vertebra by vertebra. So your spine protects your nervous system. And so here you're giving yourself, your nervous system, a nice massage. So feel that massage as you roll up. Inhaling at the top. Exhale and be really intentional about it. And notice what it feels like to slow down like this. I know it's hard because we rush through our days, but that's partly, well, it is what activates our sympathetic nervous system response. Makes us feel anxious and irritated and wired and tired. And when we slow down like this, tell our nervous systems we're safe, we got this. It just feels really good in our bodies, but it might feel a little strange because we never do it. So it's a practice. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down through your spine. But this is the secret sauce. So inhale at the bottom when you're at 6. Exhale, you're going to roll up. Your pelvis comes to 12, rolling up through your spine. This time you're going to pause at the top. And you're going to lift your right arm and you're going to reach over. Just notice how that feels. Maybe take a breath here. You're going to reach back. And then reach over with the other arm. Take a breath here. Notice how that feels. Reach back. And then inhale. Exhale, roll down through your spine, one vertebra at a time. Just notice how you're feeling in your body, giving your spine this nice massage, giving your nervous system this nice massage. And at the bottom, you're going to pause. Just noticing how you're feeling. And here you're going to take your feet wide and you're just going to let your knees sway from side to side. Inhale in the center, exhale, sway to the side. So notice how you're feeling. You know, feeling of like, I'm not stressed, I got this, I can do this class. That is ventral vagus activation. That is feeling safe and resilient, and that is a good place to be. So coming back to the center, I want you to draw your right knee into your chest now. You need to draw your right knee into your chest, and if that hurts your knees, you can hold on behind your knee. Okay, so what you're going to do here is you're going to circle your right knee, and I want you to just pay attention. This is the mind-body connection that everybody wants everywhere else, that we've always had in yoga. So maybe notice how this feels at the back of your pelvis, in your jaw, at the back of your neck, in your shoulders. In your tongue. Circle your leg the other way. Are you moving with breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose? And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to your ankle or your foot, and you're going to draw that knee towards your right shoulder so that you're in a half happy baby kind of shape. And you can either hold on to your ankle or your foot, and you're just going to rock your pelvis back and forth. I'm just going to take my mic off so I don't lose my connection with you guys. So we're just going to rock back and forth. And this, this might be a little tricky. It might be easy. But you're creating those neural maps in your mind so that maybe your brain has to figure this out. That's creating that mind-body connection. It's okay if it takes time. We can be patient with our bodies. And then you're going to put your right foot down. And let's just send our legs out to the corners of the mat. And pause here and notice the difference between your right and left side of your body. So we just did all that stuff for your right hip, but maybe you feel it in your right shoulder. Maybe you feel it in your right jaw, your right eye, temple, right side of your head, your right ankle, your right foot, your right leg. So we're all connected in our bodies with each other. And when we do these practices, it makes it easier for us to connect with ourselves and with each other. And that's what resetting our vagus nerve means, that it's easier to be there for ourselves and be there for each other. Okay, so let's bend our knees again. This time you'll draw your left knee in. If you have knee issues, you're going to hold on behind your knee. And we're going to do that all again. So we're starting with circling your knee. And maybe you're going to pay attention to the back of your pelvis when you do this, how that feels against the ground. Maybe you're going to pay attention to the way your shoulders are moving here. So I've got a funky knee thing here on my left knee, and I'm noticing my left shoulder is behaving a lot differently on this side. So that's interesting. And then we're going to circle the other way. Maybe you notice your jaw. Maybe you notice your skull. This is interoception, being able to feel inside your body. Maybe that doesn't feel good at all. Maybe you need to open your eyes and orient to the room again. Okay, so here you're going to hold on to your left foot, draw, or your ankle, whatever you can reach, no right or wrong, no better best. Maybe you hold on behind your knee. And you're going to draw your knee over towards the outside of your shoulder. And here we're going to rock again. And it might take a bit of time for your brain to figure this out. So you're going to rock out towards 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, if that was a pelvic clock again. Just rocking side to side, creating that mind-body connection. Making sure you're still breathing. Because you can breathe and lay down new neural pathways in your brain at the same time. Because you're smart like that. Then we're going to come back to the center. And you're going to place your heels towards the corners of your mat again. And you're just going to pause here. Notice how you feel. Okay, so notice how you feel. Notice if your pelvis maybe feels a little reset. If your legs feel in a better position. Maybe your low back feels better. Maybe your skull feels in a better position. Notice your nervous system response. So sometimes it's not what exactly we're moving, but how we're moving with intention, with breath, that can create these big changes for us. Okay, so next movement, you're going to roll to your right side, and at the top of your mat you have that block. What you're going to use now, you're going to place it underneath your head. And you're going to lie and stack your knees at about a 90-degree angle. And you're going to stack your hands. And you want your head towards the front of the block here. And what you're going to do is you're going to circle your left hand overhead. And you're going to circle it all the way around. You're going to keep it on the floor as much as you can without straining, and circle all the way around. So we just want to move our spine into a twist. So inhale as you open, and exhale as you come back around. And you could even use this top hand to keep your knees a little bit more stacked. But we really just, more than anything, want this movement to be easy and with breath. So when we're doing this vagus nerve reset, if we just want to gently open like a flower in the sun, if we're forcing ourselves to do things like too much of a hard edge, then our nervous system will kick back and create restriction. So this is why gentle movement with breath tells our nervous system we're safe, and then our body responds by opening. And our nervous system responds by letting us know that we're safe too. So my point here is that it doesn't serve you to force things more. It's the fast way is to be gentle. Let's do one more like that. Then you're going to remove the block and lie down on your back. And just check in here and feel the difference between your left and right shoulder, left side of your neck. And then you're going to roll to your left side. Place the block underneath your left side of your head. And bring your knees in that 90-degree angle again. Put your head towards the front of the block again. So you have room to roll. And then you're going to inhale, circle your arm around. And you want to keep your arm on the ground as much as possible. And exhale back. So let it be gentle. Notice when you're speeding up. And remind yourself that this is your gentle yoga class and time, and there's no rush. Can you be unhurried in these movements? Are you still breathing? And then we're going to come back onto your backs. You can push your block back to the head of your mat. Come back to your back. Okay, you're just pausing here, noticing how you're feeling after that slow, unhurried movement. And there you were working your nervous system as well, because you were coming into those rotational movements were for your spine. Okay, so we're going to roll to your side now. And what I would recommend is, if you're on a hard surface like I am, that you take care of your knees with the blanket that you have off to your side here and put them underneath your knees for cat pose. And we're just going to do a couple of exhaling, rounding, inhaling, arching. The spine should be feeling pretty juicy by now. And then let's create some more mind-body connection with breath and movement by taking your right hand behind your head, and then I want you to circle your elbow. Now, this might feel a little weird at first, like you can't find the movement. I found an image that worked for me was to imagine that I was dropping my elbow into water. Give your body time to get used to the movement. And then go the other way. So imagine reaching your elbow through warm water. And then just come back on all fours. Let's do a cat pose in the center. Just notice the difference between your right and left side. And this time you're going to take your left hand behind your head And you're going to circle your elbow back. Keep breathing. Try to just move from your elbow. Know that I'm doing this a little weird on this side, so I don't rub my mic for you guys. So what I'm saying is try to keep your hips still in this one. Because you could get really big movement by moving your hips, and that could be interesting too, but we're not doing that today. And then take your elbow forward into the water. Are you breathing? And then come back to center and do a couple of cat-cows. Just notice how that feels. And then in whatever way you would like to, make your way up to standing. You can put your blanket off to the side as well, because we won't need that for a while if you choose to use that towards the end of the class. Okay, from standing, take your feet a little wider than hip width apart. You're just going to start rotating from your hips. Let your arms be really like noodles, and then they'll go to your lower belly and your low back. And this is great for your spine and your low back to bring energy to your lower belly, to your kidneys. Just let your breath be normal. Pause in the center, notice how you feel. And bring your arms up and drop them down. Up and drop them down. Up and drop them down. And then you're going to up and you're going to swing them to the sides. So as you bring them up, you're going to inhale. As you drop them, you're going to exhale. And you can visualize letting go as you swing and exhale. So if you've been feeling agitated, anxious, irritated, you can imagine just letting that go. On the opposite end, if you've been feeling sort of depressed, like you can't get up and going, you can just notice how this gives you energy as well. And pause in the center and notice how you feel. Take your feet out wide. And you're going to sit down here. And you're going to tap your chest. You're going to inhale through your nose. And you're going to exhale with a This is going to release any stuck emotions, So emotions, when they don't get fully expressed, get stuck in the body, get experiences tension, dis-ease, and we can move them along with this. So, and the deeper they are, the more we want to tap. So you can get into those deep stuck emotions by giving some good taps here. You can go up and over your shoulders as well. That's good for frustration, irritation. Okay, and then we'll come up and we'll just pause and notice how we feel. Okay, and then we're going to move this energy through our bodies. You're going to turn your left toes out, your right toes in, and swoop your right arm around. And then we're going to do that whole thing to the other side. Left toes in, right toes out. Swoop your left arm around. And we're going to make this a little moving meditation just by going from side to side. And then you're going to come back to the center, and we're going to do another moving meditation between tree pose and warrior three. So come close to a wall if you need support with your balance, or use a chair. But remember, balance saves lives. Balance will save your life. It will protect your independence as you age. Most people lose their independence because of falls as they age. And as we, it also the time between a fall and death gets significantly less. So we want to have really good balance. So you're going to come into tree pose, any version of tree pose, and then we're just going to swoop into warrior three. And also this creates really good focus and balance and resilience, because it's not about not falling, but it's about coming back when you do fall. Keep breathing. And then you're going to stand on your other leg. And we're going to just pause in the middle center. So know that your nervous system can be flexible. So when we do something like this, it's a little stressful, right? So your nervous system activates, which is fine. We pause and we come back. So what we're doing with classes like this as well is we're increasing our capacity to be able to handle the challenges that our life throws our way, which, we're never going to have a stress-free life. So when we throw our body a little bit of stress in a yoga class like this, is good because we increase our capacity to be able to handle it in our lives. So tree pose on the other side into warrior 3, and back and forth is a moving meditation that is asking a little bit more of our nervous system to increase our capacity to be able to handle the demands of life. And then you're going to stand with your feet underneath your hip bones. And we're going to squat down as low as is comfortable for you. Grab that earth energy, reach up, rotate around, exhale. Squat down, grab that earth energy, circle around. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So co-regulation can be with nature, drawing on earth energy, circling that earth energy into our energetic field. Do one more each side. Just pausing here, noticing how you're feeling. And then we're going to come down onto your bellies. Okay, just wiggle your hips from side to side. You can rest your head on the ground or on your backs of your hands. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees, reach back through your heels. And then you're going to bring your elbows up underneath you. Press down through your elbows. Reach the base of your shoulder blades down into your jean pockets. And you're just going to slide your right shoulder forward, your left one back. Look over your left shoulder. And we'll go the other way. Slide your left shoulder forward, your right shoulder back, and look over your right shoulder. And breathe while you do this. And then you're going to come back to the center, lower down first. You're going to come up and back into child's pose. And you're going to walk your hands over to one side. And then the other. Okay, so here's where you're going to come and sit on that meditation cushion. You could sit on your block or a chair. You're going to sit in a way that is comfortable for you, so that your spine is long. And we're going to slowly lower your left ear to your left shoulder. You only want to feel a little bit of tension on your neck, and then you're going to look up to the opposite corner. So we're essentially doing that same reset exercise that we did at the beginning, that vagus nerve reset exercise, but we're doing it seated now. Are you breathing? So notice those vagal responses, either a yawn response or a sigh. We'll come back up. And then you're going to slowly tip your ear to the other shoulder. You only need to feel very little resistance here in your neck. You don't need to do much in your neck, especially if you get neck pain and stuff. You don't want to aggravate your neck. And then look up the opposite way. You might get that yawn response, or you might feel that saliva gather in your mouth, or you might get a sigh. All these are good responses. We're going to come back to the center. You're going to take your hands in prayer position with your fingers pointed down behind your back here. And then you're going to lower your left ear to your left shoulder again. We're just going to do chin up and chin down here. Really gentle. And then other side, chin up and chin down. So that vagus nerve starts at the base of your skull. It goes down here, either side of your neck. So good movements for that. And then we're going to lie down on your back and lie down on your back. So get yourself as comfortable as possible here. And we're going to do that vagus nerve reset again. Take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. Let your head be heavy in your hands. Your elbows will reach the ground. Your nose is going to point up towards the ceiling, and your head is not going to move. Take your eyes to the right. And you're waiting for that response, which might be a deep sigh, or saliva in your mouth, or a yawn. And come back to the center, looking over to the left. Again, you may have a deep sigh, some saliva in your mouth, or a yawn. Come back to the center. Release your hands. You're going to take your pointer fingers again. Remember, if you were to stick them right in the ear canals, then we're going to go up, just right above that. There's a little spot right above the ear canals, and you're going to circle here. Notice how you're feeling. Circle the other way. Notice your jaw. Notice if you're feeling more relaxed. Okay, and then you can lower your hands down. We're going to come back to that breathing exercise one more time. So you're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. And then after the next exhale, you can just rest here. We'll come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. You might want to reach for those props. Maybe if you're cooler, you can put a blanket over top of you. If you like the eye pillow, you might want to put that on top of your eyes. Just letting yourself fully rest to fully integrate and receive this class now. So keep resting back here. I'm going to sit up and read you a poem. So this rest phase is really important and nourishing for your nervous system. You don't want to skip out on it. So we talked about co-regulation in this class. You can connect with yourself, you can connect with your pets, you can connect with your friends, your family, with nature. This is a poem about nature called Forest by Carol Ann Duffy. In fact, the trees are murmuring under your feet, a buried empathy, you tread it. High over your head, the canopy sleeves light a conversation you lip read. The forest keeps different time, slow hours as long as your life, so you feel human, so you feel more human, persuaded what you are by the wordless breath of wood, reason and resin. You might name them: oak, ash, holly, beech, elm. But the giants are silence alive, superior, and now you are all instinct, swinging the small lamp of your heart as you venture their world, the green, shadowy garlic air your ancestors breathed. Ah, you thought the love human till you lost yourself in the forest. But it is more strange. These grave and patient saints who pray and suffer your little embrace. So gradually allow your breath to deepen. You can wiggle and stretch out. Bend your knees and roll to your side. Slowly make your way up to a seated position. Leave a comment below saying, "I subscribed," and I will personally respond to you. I'm going to be doing lots more of these nervous system classes, vagus nerve classes. This is what I understand from reaching out to you that you are most interested in. So I'm sending much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as the ocean. May you be as rooted as the old growth trees in our forest. And may you be as strong as our mountains.